Welcome back to another episode of our Wyckoff crypto discussion. As usual, today we will explore the crypto market through the lens of the Wyckoff method. This information is for educational purpose only and is not an investment recommendation. Please stop the video and read the disclaimer. We have just launched our Discord channel and we are literally overwhelmed by your support. Thank you very much for your message, for your charts. Please keep sending your charts, your observation. This was our first week, so we try to answer as many questions as possible. It's not easy, but we are definitely reading every word, and we are doing our best to answer all of your questions about the Wyckoff methodology. So this is the link to join our group. It will be free until March, and some users had lately issues with the old link. You can use this one or just scan the QR code. And let's show the next slide, Roman. So the main core of our Discord group is this section, basically the market update. Here you can find our video and flashcards update about Bitcoin, mid and low caps. So Roman, we also have a timetable, and as traders, it's extremely important to establish a routine. So as you can see, each day we have a specific commitment. And we're really enjoying Roman's video because it's not just showing high probability spots, it's also explaining the Wyckoff methodology in real time. And this is very exciting. So please join us on Discord. And Roman, what do you think about this new project?
Oh my gosh. Well, yeah, I mean, like being overwhelmed by a sudden influx of a lot of new members in the Discord group, new students, it's definitely, taking a toll. So we're approaching this as kind of like week by week, day by day basis. And Alessia is right. We are trying to establish the process right now as to what it's going to be like in the months. So Alessia, why don't you just walk us through the process of like what are we doing like each day of the week?
So basically, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, we have a flash update. So Roman is recording his analysis of Bitcoin and major indexes, also the movers, like for example, this week we had the Polkadot, Aave and other assets, Ethereum, for example. And I'm working on the selection of low caps because we know that crypto traders love microcaps.
So that way, Alessio, what we're doing is I'm doing kind of like, you set me up with the what I call the majors, right? So the Bitcoin, the DeFi, the shitcoin, the Ethereum, Chainlink, and then we have Aave, obviously, just because it's an outperformer right now, Polkadot and ADA. And then you go into very, very speculative stuff where, you post those flashcards with an idea of, look at this structure, potential point of entry right there. So that happens on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And then on Thursday, today, what do we do on Thursday?
This is a Wyckoff crypto discussion. So basically, I think this is the backbone of our analysis because it's all about the big picture, rotation, leadership, question and answer. So I really enjoy it.
All right. And then on Friday, tomorrow, so this is going to be the first time that we're going to do this, communal watch list. So what would someone expect from the crypto communal watch list?
I really like the idea of a watch list where people is collaborating and sending their candidates, so we can really show a selection of crypto assets, especially low caps that are going to outperform the market. I think this is a great idea.
Yeah, I mean, we have to establish that process, obviously, with the members of the Discord where those, assets are being submitted for the weekly communal watch list. So we'll have to work on this. This is just work in progress. That's number one. But secondly, Alessia, I'm thinking in the way like I'm starting to get a feel better for the market. I mean, one thing is just you're looking at the chart, you analyze. Another thing, you're doing this on the daily basis. Another thing, you're going to trade it. I mean, like those are different type of understandings. of the assets. And I'm thinking that with the way how quickly things move, maybe we'll have to do like a midweek update of the communal Wyckoff watchlist or something like this. Okay, and then on the weekends, what do we do on the weekends if we do anything?
Well, the crypto markets moves every day, so I think it's important to provide some kind of update, especially if the market is going to have a shakeout. And when liquidity is very poor, it happens very often to have a shakeout, for example, in the weekend. So we have to be there. And generally, if our analysis is safe, to say this, we can just relax. But if something happens, we have to be there.
Yeah. Okay. And then obviously the chat. So there are so many messages. I can't answer all of them. I can't even go through, majority of them. But there are a lot of questions with charts, which I love, right? Because this is an educational tool. So I would say, keep posting those, and we'll definitely have sessions, video sessions together where we're just gonna take your questions and answer them. All right, well, very exciting, Alessio. So now let's go back to our regular routine. So here's our first chart.
Yeah, it's time to analyze the market. So what do you see here? So the S&P is in a consolidation. And Roman will show us different scenarios that can occur here. But I think that the main message for today is that we have to be very, very tactical. That big bar or Elon Musk announcement has triggered a lot of short selling, but we probably need to see more confirmation to the upside in order to switch from the trading range mode to the uptrend. Maybe we are still in phase B. This is my idea, to be honest. So the current rally of low volume, small up spreads, if we fail in this area, we could even revisit the support. And I've published a short covering analog on Saturday on our Discord group, and we will review it now. But before that, Roman, your thoughts?
Yeah, I would agree with this. I mean, phase A is clearly defined. There is nothing kind of like strange or difficult about phase A. Buy and climax, automatic reaction, secondary test, textbook example. Then you have a mini structure at the support level. So this is in itself a testing of what? A test of the previous stopping action on the automatic reaction. Also the testing of this area where we had some absorption of the supply before. And I would agree with Alessio that supply came in here, and then the move here is a little bit laborious, so it doesn't have a lot of volume signature. It doesn't really have to have a lot of volume signature. So for me, what's going to be important is the result. Are we going to come to the resistance? How would we behave around the resistance area? Would we overcome this? Would we overcome this and then come back in the upthrust action? So to me, as Alessio said, it's all tactical. So if we open position, let's say right here, this is our first target, and I would take some of the profits, around 40,000, and keep some just to see if there's going to be some kind of continuation. If there is no continuation, then yeah, we would be expecting some kind of maybe a possibility of phase C type of the decline. That would also extend the duration of the trading range. Alessio, by the way, we need to look at the PNF and see if there is a confirming PNF from the original one.
I already seen that, Roman. Not yet.
Not yet. Okay, so we need more count. So we need more columns on the PNF to create a much larger count. So phase C could be a possibility. And then you were asking about S&P and the market scenarios. Well, we're well above this bar right here, which was the most significant bar, was the supply coming in. If you want more of the breakdown of this area right here, go to our Twitter, and there you could find a couple of videos on that. But in very quick manner, volume is increasing, and there is no progression to the downside. So this is indicates the presence of the demand, and then we're recovering pretty nicely. Two scenarios here. I would say the higher probability scenario is a vertical absorption where we overcome in this area right here, and then we are consolidating around the resistance and then continuing to go up. So profit taking from the short squeezes, rotation, and then quick recovery suggests continuation. And it's a very interesting process when behind the conditions of deteriorating momentum, we are seeing the increase of the supply, and that supply subsequently is being absorbed. And because of this absorption, prices are going up. And not only that, that defines also the timing of when the price starts moving up again. So a very interesting concept right there. It's almost like we needed that decline in order for us to start moving up again. Alyssa, any other thoughts, Gary?
Let's go straight on the next slide, Roman.
Yeah, this is a beautiful chart.
As I really like this analog with 2019 because we see two different examples of short covering on a big announcement of simply a news. In this case, we have Elon Musk, so that event creates some kind of excitement in the market, especially in the public. We have seen a lot of new registration. Basically, many crypto exchanges were overloaded with new accounts, and that was indicating more and more interest, especially from the public, retail traders. So short covering after announcement, what happens next? So this is not a bearish message. The idea is that we probably need to see more institutional demand. And so this is a reminder that we could still be in phase B. So the price action that followed this big bar, in our case, was more bullish than the price action of 2019. But of course, you have to think that the context of the market today, especially in the crypto market, is way more bullish than in 2019. So I think this analog could really help us to be patient with this consolidation, Roman. What do you think about this?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Like this bullish background that we're in right now, it was different here, right? So here we are in the downtrend, and right now we were in the uptrend and now in the consolidation. This would have been a true phase C for Bitcoin in 2019, if not for the COVID reaction in 2020. And COVID reaction is something that is like extraordinary event. It's something that, well, it doesn't happen each year. Let's just put it this way. So if this would have been the true phase C, we could have had a different structure. So it makes a lot of sense that we still need to retest maybe the lower levels. It could be a high low, not necessarily a low low. We'll have to see how the structure unfolds. And then, so we're still in the trading range from that perspective.
So many students in our community are very interested in the dollar at this point because they see some upside potential for the dollar, and that could be bearish for Bitcoin. But I think that the main idea is that the dollar, look at that decline that we are having since November. We have a small spread. So basically, price is going down on a lack of demand. It's not active supply that is pushing down the price. So I think that in this kind of formation, it's very common to have a quick rally that pushes into the resistance and fails. And I think that this is going to happen right now, but it's still a bearish formation. In my view, this is not a real accumulation. What's your view on this, Roman?
Yeah, I like this thought, Alessia, about the dollar being in the downtrend, and yet, there is some kind of short-term rally that is developing right now, which obviously influences the Bitcoin itself, and that produces a rotation in a very interesting way. So the dollar goes up short-term. Bitcoin is into the trading range. Because Bitcoin is going into the trading range, then rotation happens into mid cap and small cap in the crypto world. So that's very interesting. Now, think about what's going to happen next, right? So let's just say that we're going to come to the resistance, maybe consolidate here, and then continue to the downside, or just retest the lows in the dollar. So then at some point, we might have that phase C, and then the money is going to come back to Bitcoin. So right here, the small caps are going to start, or the mid caps are going to pause, start going into the consolidations and so on and so forth. And that's how the market works. Like the money rotates from one theme to another, from one asset to another. Also, on a very basic level, just notice the correlation between the Bitcoin and the US dollar. So it's very, very obvious. All right, let's go to another one.
So these are the crypto sector futures. So basically, the DeFi index is still leading to the upside. We have seen heavy today. And basically, today's bar is a bit concerning because we see on this bar a lot of volume. So effort versus result is not expanding. But until we see a real change of character, this is a change of behavior. But until we see a change of character, the trend is still up. And I would love to see more rotation here. I would love to see, for example, rotation from DeFi index to shitcoin. But we have to have kind of a reaction here. What do you think, Roman?
Yeah, definitely some supply is coming in, and obviously when you look at Aave, which is the big part of DeFi, then you kind of see a big volume signature there, so that translates into the DeFi. Is this the end? There is definitely some diminished character of this spread, so we could be close, but it doesn't necessarily mean that this is the end of the move. So you have to play it tactically and just kind of like move your stop losses like this on the assets that you have. But yeah, Alessio, I wonder what's your view of the shitcoin and small caps here. I mean, mid caps are running away, so we have that. DeFi, obviously, the growth sector in the crypto space is growing, so that is very logical. So maybe the small caps are the last ones to be picked up as the value proposition, and that's why they are not rallying that much. What do you think?
Yes, it would be a great scenario to see rotation, but we have to wait and stay with the trend. So,
all right.
So here's the leader of the market, so heavy. So beautiful reaccumulation structure. We see that kind of triangle. This formation is very common in the crypto space where momentum is so remarkable. And now we are very close to significant point and figure target. But we have to remember that leadership asset can really overshoot PNF target. So I think that the stop loss strategy, an aggressive stop loss strategy, is important here. Your max or man?
Yeah. So you kind of could see how the price goes, right? So trading range, a rally, trading range, a rally, trading range, a rally. So very sustainable behavior in the market. You have to note if you want to figure out where the market is going to stop here, you have to notice how it did so before. So for instance, climactic run, some increase in the volume signature. Climactic run, some increase in the volume signature. Let's say potential climactic run, volume signature increases. And we would be thinking it's kind of the same spot here, but what happens next? How does the test of that supply coming in unfolds? It unfolds more in the reactionary manner. This is different. This is not a reactionary mode. This is a much better test that we've seen before, and that is still suggestive of continuation. And Alessio mentioned that there are slightly higher targets there, so maybe we will have that continuation. And there is a good momentum and good volume signature supporting that momentum in this price action. Okay.
So Polkadot very constructive price action. If we hold here, I think that this could be considered a classic backing up action. So very constructive. We just need a confirmation to the upside here.
Right. And how would that look, Alessio?
I think that should be very aggressive. Because generally this kind of asset have a very aggressive recovery after the backing up action.
And we see some tails here, so that is, and supply signature is not that big. I mean, like compare that to, let's say, here, or maybe here, or maybe here. Like this is not a very strong supply, and it's at that resistance level, and the tail suggests that there is some buy. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how Polkadot might potentially, break out.
And this is Binance Coin, so very interesting project. This is one of the leader, the backbone of the crypto industry. Binance is a very big exchange. And look at the volume signature that we have. I think that this volume signature is telling us that institutions, or at least crypto funds, are very active in this long-term consolidation. And this is kind of unique volume signature in the whole crypto panorama. So I really like it. And look at this backing up action followed by a breakout on this weekly chart. This is very constructive. So I think that this is an asset that we could potentially campaign, because there's a huge potential. If you go to the PNF chart, basically, if you consider the whole consolidation, this could be easily a 10-bagger. Of course, when we consider our PNF target, we have to count segment from segment. So basically, the first segment yellow that we have here is our first target, give us our first target, and only then we can extend the count. But very interesting project, very interesting consolidation.
Alessio, what's the PNF for this yellow count?
I have to check, Roman. I have to check.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. I agree with Alessio completely. There are so many great features here. The whole idea that Binance Coin is so detrimental to the whole market is just creates the demand needed for the long-term sustainable campaign. So that's what's so beautiful. In terms of the volume that Alessio was mentioning, so look at what the volume does, right? So volume increases, what do? We kind of consolidate and we go up. So absorption, right? So volume here, we are trying to break out above the resistance level of the initial, IPO run, and that's absorption as well. This volume spike on the way down, we're seeing some buying, so absorption on the way down. This volume spike right here, absorption on the way up with aggressive demand. And then again, here and here on the way down, and then attempt to absorb on the way up. So the volume signature feels institutional, feels like an institutional quality volume signature. Why? Because it comes at the correct structural spots where absorption should happen, either on the way down to the support or into the resistance or on the way up in the uptrend. And that suggests that they are accumulating for campaign. So very interesting observation, Alessio. Okay, well, we are done with our current session. Our last call for today is again to join our Discord group. Please go easy on us with all of the messages, but we're definitely there for you, and we just need to establish our routine. Alessio, your final thoughts.
It's always a pleasure to come at the market with you and share our thoughts with our great community.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.